Okay, we back. Still episode 48. We're gonna move into NBA. We're gonna try to get a little baseball if we can, but NBA playoffs playing. Talk to me. What we know: Boston clinched, Milwaukee clinched, and Denver, right?
I believe so.
I think Denver clinched. Right now, for one, I know the Knicks. We beat Denver yesterday. We beat them on joke. Now, talk to me about who y'all think is going to be, who's going to make the playoffs, play in. What's up? Talk to me.
You know, for the first time in 20 years, the West has been really weak.
What?
The West is weak. The West is weak, and the reason why I say that is, come on, you know, 3 of the top teams in the NBA are on the East right now. You know what I'm saying? Now, I want to speak on the Lakers just for a second, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
All right.
And I'm a rebuttal to that. Go ahead.
Okay. The Lakers right now, their roster looks good. Looks way better than they had.
Okay.
It looks way better than they had. Probably maybe a top. Well, they're definitely a top 10 roster right now.
They look like an
probably
NBA.
Top
They
5,
look like an
probably
NBA
top
team.
5. Maybe.
Yeah.
They waited too long to get this type of talent on the team. If they had gotten this talent before, they probably would have. They probably would have
Top 4.
Yeah, most definitely. But your boy LeBron, he gets hurt, which pushes that back. And as you can see, he's still a vital part of that team because they can't win without him.
Yeah.
Now, before they lost them a couple games back to back, they had a chance, but they couldn't afford to lose no game. When they lost to the Rockets, then lost to the Mavericks, that was the end. Even though they're still between 6 and 10, 11?
11, yeah. I think they're 11 right
Oh, they
now.
12 maybe. Might be 12.
The Lakers?
Yeah.
11th.
11?
11th,
Okay,
yeah.
I forgot. Yeah, I know he knows. But yeah, that race is still there, but they've been pushed. They those 2 losses really pushed them back like big time. You know what I'm saying? It really pushed them back. And what I mean by the West being weaker than the East, it's been a long time, man, since the West looked like this. You know, it's been a long time.
I got a question real quick, and then Nam, you can take the floor. Why is it that every time LeBron is in a conference, that conference is weaker than certain people?
I didn't mean it like that.
Remember, the East was weak when LeBron was in the East. He leaves the East, now the East is strong.
I didn't mean it like that.
The West was strong when he was in the East.
But the numbers don't lie. The 3 of the best teams in the NBA are on the East in the Eastern Conference. Now, when I said that, they had nothing to do with LeBron.
No, I know.
I was just speaking.
I'm messing with you.
It had nothing to do with LeBron.
But that is crazy though.
But look at Sacramento. These guys. I've been saying this, man. They gonna cause a problem for somebody.
Sacramento?
They got 4-3 game. What, 4-3 and 20?
Yeah, I mean
6-7. They're gonna be a problem for somebody. Not saying now, not Western Conference Finals because they don't have the experience in playoffs right now. But they're gonna cause a problem.
I got a hot take, and then Nam, I'm gonna really give you the floor
because I know he's waiting.
Sacramento is what Memphis was a couple of years ago. A young up-and-coming team.
Right.
It's ready to go, and we'll see how they do in the playoffs. Now, the floor is yours.
Nah. Well, I got to ask y'all this. Being that we're talking about Sacramento, right now they're a 2 seed. 2 plays the 7, which is Golden State, if the playoffs started today.
Right.
You think they could beat Golden State?
Yes.
Who, Sacramento?
Yes. Yes.
I don't think so. You
don't think their youth or inexperience is a factor? Because like how Memphis was, that was their knock.
Well, I just stated that. Yeah. I mean, they don't have playoff experience, but Golden State is garbage on the road for one, which means they're going to start out in Sacramento. They're garbage on. You see
Sacramento is like playing across the street for them. You're not flying.
I understand.
You're still in Cali.
It doesn't matter. The crowd there is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you talking about?
I give you that.
You get what I'm saying?
Sacramento got a home. No, I'm saying I agree with.
They're still in Cali.
No, but I agree with him, with Troy or TJ. Sacramento, that home crowd is crazy right now. it's like the 6 man.
The bells and all that
Yeah, it's
goofy
like
stuff they got going. $1 beer night.
Take it back.
It's like the 6 man.
Take it back to 2000, 2001. That crowd was wicked, and they playing L.A. right down the road.
Yeah.
So, you know, my thing is, I mean, Memphis is here, and Golden State is here. It's still the Western Conference.
Yeah.
These guys are defending champions. They won rings, but they're old. Draymond, they're getting older. Never mind the greatness of Klay Thompson. He's been balling.
Even Steph, he's about to do, what is it, 40, 50, 90, whatever
I
that,
get
that
that,
club.
but they can't
at
play
30, whatever.
But they can't play defense a lick, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're garbage on defense, and these guys here are going to run. These young guys are going to run.
Because you know what Golden State's problem is, in my opinion? The identity that they had when they brought in the newer guys, most of them guys are not defensive guys. The identity of the Warriors was defense and they can score.
Right.
They brought in a bunch of scorers. Jordan Poole, Wiseman was supposed to be a defensive guy, but he was in college. He was offensive minded. So they didn't bring in nobody that fit the identity. They just brought in a bunch of guys that can score. Wiggins is another one.
Well, yeah.
And wherever he is right now.
We ain't
I understand.
He got a lot going on.
I know it. I know it.
Shout out to Wiggins. He got a lot going on. But if they get Gary Payton back, you don't think that makes a difference for them?
It will ramp it up, but you still got to play defense.
I agree. Sacramento can win a playoff series, but if they run into the Warriors, they're losing 6 or 7.
I don't know.
But if they're playing Minnesota or
That's 50-50 for me. I'm not.
if OKC slides in, or even Dallas, they could beat Dallas to me.
That's gonna be tough.
That's still a 50-50, but Dallas can't play defense either.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They can play D and they can put up 170 points.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? That's why I could pick it. It depends who they play. I think they can win a series, but it depends who they play.
if the Lakers
And the West
had,
is not weak.
If the Lakers had this roster first, if they had this roster early on, I couldn't see nobody. And I couldn't see
the
no one
Lakers
beating them.
Yeah, the Lakers.
From the way I couldn't see it. You know what I'm saying? And having LeBron not hurt, I couldn't see it.
But in Cleveland, they did the same thing. Remember early in the year when they had the
Jordan,
the Hall of Fame old team with Darren and Rose and Wade, and he cleared house, and brought in Larry Nance and all that, and he dragged them to the finals.
Yeah, but this is that roster is no comparison to the roster he has right now.
This roster is great.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the roster he got.
No, that's what I'm saying. Where they made a late move,
Right. That's what
and he was still able to make it happen, given they were healthy. Anthony Davis is playing top 10 level now.
He did that. They did that at the trade deadline, right?
Yeah.
In Cleveland.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's no telling when LeBron's going to come back. That's why.
No, he's supposed to come back this week.
Well, he's supposed to get go to that German doctor this week and get another
reevaluate
opinion.
it.
So he's not.
They about to go give him the shots Kobe took.
Yeah.
He'll be back.
Well, we'll see. Like I said, they had to win those games, man. Those last two, they couldn't even afford to lose that game to Dallas, and they blew it.
Down the stretch, they can't afford to lose no more games, really.
But they're still tied with the 9th spot.
Well, they got the easiest schedule in the league remaining.
Yeah.
And they're half a game out of 8th spot.
Real quick, Ja Morant, he had an interview with Jalen Rose. I didn't see the full interview, but I just saw clips. Ja Morant talked about that he was out of pocket and stuff like that. Do you think it was genuine or it was because he got caught?
PR move.
PR?
Yeah, pure PR. First of all, you didn't even need to do that because we didn't learn anything new that we didn't already know.
Yeah.
And it was you just lied. I don't listen to NBA. There's a bunch of videos of you online.
Yeah.
I don't condone violence. Yeah, we get that. You're just portraying an image.
Yeah.
I think he should have never done that. He should have just came back and played. That's how you prove to us that you've learned your lesson.
And your actions moving further forward if you don't get in no more trouble.
That's all we're watching.
Yeah. And it's crazy because you look at a lot of guys, Kevin Durant, LeBron. You could kind of say Jordan didn't have no real controversy. It was all alleged stuff. That we're not gonna get into that, but the alleged gambling, whatever. But
the flu game,
I'm
being
saying as far as
or food poisoning, whatever it
or
was.
anything or other.
Hey, stick to the topic.
But but these guys that are superstars, they're insulated. You never heard no controversy with Kevin Durant. You never heard nothing, especially with LeBron.
Unless it's some on Twitter.
I mean, if that's, no, they're not gonna have no mishaps. Kevin Durant, if his worst thing that he does or did is
the burner account, that's fine.
Same thing with LeBron. If the worst thing he did was the decision, that's nothing compared to some of the other stuff that these guys got going on. But I think it's especially when you one of these high profile athletes.
A few decisions. Go ahead.
Wow. I think it's difficult to not be, because you're in the spotlight. So something is the camera's always following you and all that. But it's hard to stay out of trouble. Do you think?
A young guy with all that money, man, it's always hard for you to stay out of trouble. At 23 years old.
Yeah.
But chime off what you said a minute ago, man. He had to do it, but he didn't have to do it.
Yeah.
My thing is the PR move you spoke about that happens with every player. Every time somebody do something wrong, no matter what sport it is, somebody done wrote a script for them to go ahead and say, look, I'm sorry, I apologize, I done this, I know I did this, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to check myself into here or whatever. My thing is that meant absolutely nothing to me, because now your actions going forward are what we need to see.
Absolutely.
We need to see the actual change. I think he stated that the gun wasn't his. He borrowed it. What you borrow the gun for?
Yeah.
You're on, Instagram, TikTok, or whatever. You're holding a gun to your head. That could have ended badly.
Yeah.
So it's basically a show now, not just tell. It's basically just a show, and you need to see, especially from all these young people out here that got your jerseys, man. That's spending money. You got to do something to help yourself. Don't worry about trying to prove nothing to nobody else. Help yourself.
Yeah.
What do y'all think about the 8 games? That's enough? Is warranted? Because he's 23. 8 games has been, 2 weeks? 3 weeks?
2 weeks, yeah.
Ain't no way in hell a 23-year-old learned their lesson in 3 weeks.
Only difference.
And I know he ain't checking nowhere in Florida.
No, well, they say he checked in.
For what? Just signed his name
a couple of
and
days.
walked out?
He said, hi, my name is John Morant.
I would say it's not enough games because you had incidences prior to this with your mom.
Absolutely.
And other things like that.
The laser, all that.
Right. So I just me, I would say he probably should have been given the entire year. But I'm not going to say without pay. Man still got to make a living.
He's making a living.
You know what I mean?
$200 million contract.
I'm just not gonna say without pay, but he got. They suspend them those 8 games without pay.
I'm not crying for a millionaire.
Yeah.
Well, I know you don't feel sorry for a millionaire, so but
Cannot.
But whatever the case may be, take the money away or not. The whole point is of the game,
right?
And I don't think that his focus should be on the game, because now it's taking your focus away from you getting your help.
So let me ask you this: you said suspend them, but with pay. But then how is he going to learn when there's accountability and there's repercussions to your actions?
Well, I'm agreeing with it.
So if you take away his money,
right,
then it sets in his mind like, you know what, this is real.
I agree with that.
This is a small sample size of what could potentially happen if I continue down this path.
Right, like
I agree with that.
Like how Coke took that deal away from him. That's a lesson right there.
Right.
Gatorade. Was it Coke or Powerade?
Powerade
is Coke.
Coke. That.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's their brand.
My bad.
Yeah.
I'm thinking you're talking about another player, but that's another.
No.
They probably thought you were talking about another Coke.
That's another episode.
Don't go down that road, bro.
Okay. My bad. I wasn't informed about the brand, so my
I don't know how we
apologies.
get back to this, man.
My
You know what I'm
apologies.
saying? Because Coke is not Gatorade.
Hey, don't go down that road, bro.
Come on, man.
because you said Coke. I'm like, I thought it was Powerade, but my bad. I didn't know about the brand endorsements. Yo, shout out to Coke if y'all want to sponsor. Shout out to Coke, Powerade, whoever. But yeah,
Listen, I ain't even gonna go down there. I know Jeezy got a couple of coke bars in there, but we could just go leave it alone. Anyhow, you gotta like he has to learn a lesson in terms of your importance not only to the team but to the league.
Yes,
Right.
Is that big? You are probably the best player under 30 next to Tatum and Brown,
Luka.
who's American.
Right.
Everybody who's great in the NBA today is not American.
That's a fact. Right.
So you are the NBA's prized possession because they can market you here
Right.
and there because those guys are marketed by their own teams because they play for their national teams. You play for Team USA eventually.
Right.
So you gotta look at it from that standpoint. They don't want a guy waving guns, marketing their team.
Right.
Not on the same level, but I remember when John Wall first came in the league, Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
He was one of those marketable players. He had his own sneaker, and he also had to dance. Remember John Wall?
Right.
So, and John Wall didn't go off the beaten path. John Wall had some incidents, but the thing with hurt John Wall was the injuries.
Right.
That's what kind of derailed his career. But John Morant, he has an opportunity, and until you just said it, you're right. All the best players are foreign players.
Yeah.
He has an opportunity to be the face of the league. There's not that many players in history that was the face of the league.
You can go as far, even like a Jamal Murray or even Shea. These guys, aren't they Canadians?
Canadians,
So
yeah.
there's you are the person that's going to get the torch.
Yeah.
As far as the American guy. So you have to.
Who got the torch before him? The American guy.
Kobe.
After Kobe.
Hey, yo, that man ain't going to say a word. That's crazy.
Dwayne Wade.
Darren Williams. Derrick Rose.
So, but that's
a point though.
I
Rose.
I agree. I think we all agree. John Morant, he has to do what he got to do because he's talented, man. He's too talented.
Right.
But it's cool. I think he just needs to. It's a wake up call.
You know who else needs a wake up call? Dylan Brooks, bro. What is he doing? He's just trying to fight with everybody.
Hey, but look, he got two people in his ear, and ever since Draymond said that about the comment about him in this game, he since then he's improved.
Yeah, but what if you do all of that and you get bounced in the playoffs? It's for what? They doing a lot of talking for a team that never made the finals.
I agree, but it's like excuse me, Nam Wojnarowski said before, it's a brand. You got to build confidence in your on your team, whether you win or not. You got to build a young guy's confidence.
You can't like. I think their psyche in their locker room is we don't have a veteran that is gonna tell us the ropes. So we have to create these narratives that we're good and we are fine in the West and whatever. Talk down on this potential Hall of Famer and treat him like he's a nobody. That way we get attention on us because it's Memphis. It's not New York. It's not Miami. It's not Atlanta.
See, my only thing with that is that that could work against you for the simple fact of when it's free agency and you're trying to get players to come. Nobody's gonna want to come to Memphis. They get rid of all the veterans that they had.
Yeah,
but publicity and attention is good or bad. It's necessary. So,
but see,
that uses your advantage.
Yeah, but I can understand if this was like a college team. This is an NBA team.
It makes for a good villain story, man.
Yeah, you gotta have a villain.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You know what? You're right because Duke is a villain in NCAA. So you're right. Where's Duke at?
I don't even know if they're a villain.
Yeah, where is Duke? Are they still playing? No, but
can't even make it to the Sweet 16.
Sweet 16.
Y'all don't even want to play in NIT.
Listen,
that's coach move.
Yeah, we're gonna go to Dame Dollar and his remarks on NBA. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I think it's valid.
I would agree. I think it is. I think it is very much so.
For those that don't know, what are the remarks that he said about the NBA?
Me? Oh, when he was saying that he was basically stating that, like it's almost similar like he was saying like super teams.
Okay.
You know, guys were making moves to go chasing after championships.
Yeah, ring culture.
Yeah,
Ring culture.
right.
Yeah.
Just chasing, and he was like, you know, I guess what his way, he's like, it's taking the fun out of the game, taking the fight. Like guys don't stick to teams to where you struggle to make it. In his case, he'll be struggling to make it. He might get one, he might not, but he's content with what he's doing, but that doesn't take away from him because he's a Hall of Famer.
He is,
regardless.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm saying he is, but what Dame has to realize is Dame has a 1990s, 1980s mindset. The game is a lot different than what it is from back in the day. In the 90s, you had, like Nam said last week, one or two players per team. Now, if this was the 90s,
Kobe did it.
Per division.
Yeah, that's what I'm
know what I'm
saying.
saying?
Like,
Paul Pierce did it.
what?
Kobe
When?
did it. This is in the 2000s here we're talking.
No,
when?
but I'm saying,
what did Paul Pierce do?
yeah, Paul Pierce didn't do anything until Garnett and Allen came.
And then
Kobe didn't do anything them couple of years before Pau Gasol. That one player per team in the 90s, yeah, that Dame would have probably been one of them teams to come out the West.
I guess you just agreed with him when he said.
No. I agree in terms of ring culture, like how the media portrays your career doesn't matter even if you don't get rings.
Yeah.
That's not true.
That's what's portrayed today. Because when we let's say we have an argument and say, where do we put Charles Barkley at? And then the next topic after we do the ranking is, well, we can't put him that high because he don't got no ring.
Exactly.
And it's like,
exactly.
Come on now.
Same thing with Karl Malone.
Now, even though Charles Barkley even said it himself, he said, "Hey, look, I'm at the upper echelon of my career." He said, "But there's guys that won championships and I have not. Those guys sitting at a different table. I can't sit over there at that table because those guys won championships. But he is a Hall of Famer. That doesn't take away from his career." But you were stating on Karl Malone.
But that's him being modest.
Right, yeah. But he makes a
him
valid
being
point,
modest and saying that that's a different table just shows his character as a person.
Right.
But the media makes it seem like he can't sit there at all.
Yeah,
and it's like, no, he could sit there. It's just he's choosing not to sit there because of their extended accomplishments outside of just scoring or changing the game. You get what I'm saying?
Thinking about the same topic, Karl Malone and Charles Barkley, right? Two of the greatest power forwards ever. But then when you look at Tim Duncan, Dirk Nowitzki, Kevin Garnett,
or even let's throw Anthony Davis in there for fun.
Even Anthony Davis,
right? Just throw him in there for
some
fun.
will put, even though it's wrong, some would put Anthony Davis in that category only for the simple fact because he got a ring.
I won't.
Is Dirk, KG, or Anthony Davis better than the Mailman and Chuck?
Chuck, no.
But you failed to put Tim Duncan in there.
No.
No, he's talking about.
I'm saying just because they have one ring, right? All these guys have one, and Chuck and Carl have zero.
Even
right?
Giannis.
But it's a lot of guys that won rings off the backs of superstars. So I can't even include him.
Tim is at a distance because he's with 5, right?
5,
so I can't put him that close. But 1 to 0 is really, really close, right?
Right.
So these 2 guys or these 3 guys that have one championship, compared to these guys who don't have no championship, doesn't mean they can't sit at the same table.
But I don't include.
And that's what ring culture has made this thing being like. Oh, you don't have no ring, you can't sit here.
You can't sit here.
No.
Which is it's crazy.
These 2 guys will bust any of those guys' ass.
I don't include AD.
I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah. All right, so take away AD and put Giannis. He's in the he's in the category.
Anthony Davis is a power forward,
But
that's why I just threw him in there because he's relevant today.
yeah, but his availability is been questioned his whole year. So, but when you said Giannis,
Yeah.
Fine.
so you want to compare Giannis to Karl Malone?
No, I'm saying you take away
Power forward.
You take away AD,
championship. That's
yeah.
it.
Because we put AD as but then I totally forgot Giannis. You take away AD and put Giannis. Giannis has one championship. He's an MVP. Would you say he's better than Karl Malone and Chuck only because he has a ring?
No, his athleticism is it puts him a little bit better. But Karl Malone, those guys, that I won't even include championships in because those guys are the greatest at their position.
See, that's the point we're making.
That's what we trying to
because ring culture has made it like the minute you get a ring, you're great.
You're solidified. But you could still be great without a ring. That's all we saying.
Yeah, you can take rings.
James Jones got like 7 of them things. Is he great? No. Robert Horry got a lot of them. Is he great? No.
Got it off the back.
I mean, he's great, but not these guys that don't have anything.
Right.
I mean, but that's what ring culture has done.
Yeah,
right.
Patrick Ewing, one of the greatest centers of all times, never got a ring. He got to the championship twice.
And he's still one of the greatest of all time.
And that's basically all we saying. Yeah. Dame's mindset is, I don't have to, and I respect it.
Yeah.
If it was 20, 30 years ago, Dame would have been on one of those, one of them runs, but it's difficult now because there's so many good players on one team now.
You have to have a Kawhi Leonard type of moment or a Dirk type of moment where you just capitalize on something that just happened to happen.
Now, and what's crazy about Dame's argument is that even if you don't include the teaming up together, the Warriors and the Spurs are two teams that did it the right way.
Right.
They drafted all their talent.
I got you.
So even if you don't want to include them, it's like, Dame, I hear you, but then you got a team like the Warriors and then the Spurs. What are you going to do against that?
Well, I don't really think I don't even think he even includes that. I think he's saying, when he said ring chasing, this guy trading, going to get with teams.
Yeah.
But San Antonio and Golden State, they did it exactly the right way, and they built that dynasty.
Yeah.
So that's a little different than hopping city to city.
Yeah.
City.
I mean, I respect Dame.
I think that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, I respect his opinion, and the way he's doing it is what he wants to do. So we can't critique it more than that. He cares about it, but he's not gonna, I guess, leverage his integrity or whatever he feels like he's going through. But it is what it is. Yeah. He's doing what he got to do. He's still gonna be one of the better scorers we've ever seen.
But it is a catch-22 because y'all made it a point that it is a little different because there is a lot of talent on teams. So
way too much.
It goes both ways.
In a weak East. A weak West.
The West is weak.
This year.
Because of LeBron.
This year.
I think I heard him say LeBron make the West weak. I think I did hear him say that.
This year.
Listen, we got so many stars over there, you wouldn't even know what to do with them. Every team has at least two except Spurs and the Rockets. They're just tanking.
Yeah, the bottom feeders. But
now with all this talent and all those teams and these records being 34 and 35 and what does that say about all that talent on these teams? Is everybody beating everybody, or is it just some? You
remember when our division, when the Panthers made it at like 9-7-1 or something like that?
Yeah.
Everybody in the division was good. Mm-hmm. It's just we were all beating each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Real quick, and we got like a minute left. Michael Jordan trying to sell a majority share stake in the Hornets. What are your thoughts? Real quick, 30 seconds.
Good job. Sell it.
All right.
Sell the share.
Yeah, you just sell it. I'm gonna leave that one alone.
Yeah, we gonna leave that
alone.
Why you think you're trying to sell it to buy some? You know what?
Who was he selling it to? Pepsi or Coke?
You see, that's the media for you. They tell you, they sit there and say, "Hey, look, man, I ain't trying to say this, but I ain't want to get into it, but," and then slip it out. Yeah, come on, you know.
We know he ain't selling it to Gatorade.
Yo, that wraps up episode 48. It's your boy T.
Whack, man. That's your man TJ.
It's your boy Nam, boy. Oh my God, ain't no way.